Robertson Family Racing Pigeons. Okay, so this is James, and I'm getting ready to ship a few birds. And so I thought I'd just make a little video on how I go about doing that. Okay, so the first step is to contact your local post office to learn when pickup actually is. That way you can time your drop off accordingly. So the point here is you want to try and minimize the amount of time that your birds are going to be sitting in the post office prior to their actual departure. You don't want them sitting there all day long. So I try and drop my birds off about, I don't know, 15 to 20 minutes before the actual pickup is, just to be safe. Okay, so the second step is to prepare your shipping box. So here the objective is to modify the box to conform to the new USPS size constraints. You don't want to be charged a whole bunch of money because your box is just a little bit too big. The other thing is to make sure that birds have what they need. So isolation from other birds that might be shipped with them, and also food and water. Robertson Family Racing Pigeons. Okay, so this is James, and I'm getting ready to ship a few birds. So I'm going to ship, I've got two different shipments. Then one's going to North Carolina, the other's going to Minnesota. And this one right here is going to have 2 birds. That one's going to have 1 bird. And so I'm just kind of repurposing some boxes with the new U.S. Postal Service guidelines. You want your boxes to be, I believe it's less than 12 inches tall, if I'm remembering that correctly. And so this one, we got 9 inches. I didn't make this box. And then this one is gonna be 11 inches tall. So this was obviously a repurposed old box. The older boxes stood more like that tall. So what I've done so far, since this box is gonna have 2 birds in it, I've just cut a little divider, and one of the birds that's going to be shipped is an old bird. The other one's going to be a young bird, and so really didn't want them to have access to each other. Just kind of worried that the old bird would beat up that youngster. So got that divider in there, and I'm going to fill it with not fill it, but put in some wood shavings, some cedar shavings, and then I'm also going to put in something that they can eat out of. Just throw in a little bit of food. All right, here we go. Okay, so another thing I'm gonna do is, you just never know, even when you overnight a bird, how long it's gonna be in the mail system. Sometimes they get delayed or routed incorrectly. So my experience has been, even when I overnight them, they take 2 days instead of 1 day minimum. Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you get much more unlucky, and your birds don't make it alive, which is sad, super sad. So I try to give them a little provision. So I usually wire a little cup to the inside of the box, put a tiny bit of feed. Of course, water's more important. Sometimes I just have something like this with the tiniest bit of water in there. The box is going to get moved around, of course, but you know, I've got a thick layer of these chips. If all of this little bit, which is probably about a 1/4 cup of water, drains out, it's going to dry out. It's not going to be a big deal. So the box isn't going to be dripping. These chips are going to absorb that. So anyways, I'll give you another snapshot once I get this together. All right, so you just get a zip tie, stick it onto a old plastic bottle. This is an old prescription bottle, and put a tiny bit of water in there. Probably only fill it up like there, but just in case, right? It may dump out, but it also may save a bird. So we'll try it. I'm just going to situate it right here in the corner of the box. Boom. Keep my fingers crossed. So yeah, I just zip tied that little dude in there and put a tiny bit of water in there, and we'll see how it goes. Of course, I will also have the lid on, but you know, that's not going to make a difference really. So, all right, here's hoping. Boom, baby. All right, here's the final product. Tiny bit of food in there, not much, a little bit. And then I've just got the tiniest bit of water in those. And I imagine some of that will spill out. But I've got tons of bark chips, a good 2 inches of bark chips there. We'll absorb some of that if that does happen. All right. Boom, baby. I don't know why I always say that, but I do. Okay, next step is to feed the birds 30 minutes prior to boxing them. So the objective here is to encourage the birds to drink. You want their crops to be as full as possible. Good birds. Good birds. All right. Eat up. Enjoy. Good birds. Good birds. Okay, step number 4 is to use a syringe to pump extra fluids or electrolytes into their crop. And here we just want to fortify the birds for potential extended time in transit where they're not going to have food and water. Okay, finally, you want to ensure and track the package. So track the package, get the automatic updates, send that information to the person you're sending it to so they know when to expect it, so they can also get those updates. It just makes things a lot simpler on both ends. Shipping a bird today. So here's another box that I'm preparing. Got nice wood chips down in there, about, I don't know, 1 inch deep, 1.5 inches. I'm going to put some feed in right there, some water in that bad boy. I have both of those secured via zip tie, and should be good to go. All right, I've got the feed, little container, zip tied in there. I've got this one for water that's prepped and ready to go. I've got a hole put in that corner and that corner. I'm just gonna set this inside here like that, and then feed it through the outside and then back through and zip it shut. Okay, so here is a youngster that I'm sending. This is a late hatch. This is out of Kronos and Black Widow. This is an awesome little hen. Super, super strong. I mean, she just feels really nice. Really nice little late hatch here. Strong back. Lots of muscle there. But yeah, nice little bird. So anyways, got the box ready, and now I'm going to, it has some food. It's already been fed. Its crop is pretty full, but I'm going to give it a little bit of electrolytes right before I pack it up. Okay, so here we go. We are ready to ship this bird out of here. Just got the food set up and some water. Its crop is full. And again, the extra food and water is just a precaution. Sometimes these birds get rerouted funky and get lost in the mail and are in the mail system for days. So, just a precaution. All right, buddy. Make us proud. Go on to do good things.